Welcome to my channel. This is my first long form video and I'm so freaking excited. I am going to be posting a lot of my Halloween content as well as my bookish content here. I did want to start with my bookish content because Halloween, we're going to wait for halfway to Halloween. Yeah, let's talk about my April TBR. I am so excited. It is stacked. Let's just yap about the books that I want to read in April. And I want to know what books you guys are reading this month as well. So I wanted to start doing a long form video because I feel like I tend to talk so much. I feel like when I end up editing so much of like important information I want to talk to you guys about. I want a space where I can just talk to you guys, period. Like, anyways, let's start talking about the books that I want to read in April. I think it's only reasonable to start talking about the ones that I'm already in the middle of reading, which is Alchemized and Bride. I am about, like, I want to say almost 400 pages into Alchemized. It is such a hefty book and it is so intimidating. It still intimidates me. So far, so good though. I will say it's a lot more horror and gothic than I anticipated it to be. So it's for sure a good surprise. I am obsessed with just the vibe of this book overall. It is a fantasy. However, one of my best friends, this is like one of her God tier books. And before I read it, I was telling her I low-key kind of think this is a romantasy. She's like, you have to read it because it's not really a romantasy. So I have to agree, it's not really a romantasy. It's very much like a gothic fantasy. It does have an element of romance, but it is such a subplot that really intrigued. I'm really curious on how this is gonna turn out. It has been a little bit confusing at first, so yeah, let's see. Let's just see how this ends. So far, it's like a solid 4-star. I am anticipating it to be a 5-star though. And then I also started reading Bride by Ali Hazelwood. It is my first Ali Hazelwood book. So far, this book has hooked me and I'm so surprised because I consider this to be almost like a fluffy fantasy or supernatural book. So far, I'm just hooked. I'm hooked with the FMC and really excited to see how this is gonna turn out. I also have the sequel. This is also gonna be my April TBR. I don't know if it's the same FMC and MMC. I think it's like ones that we've met in this first book, and then this is like their designated book in a sense. I'm excited to read both, and like I said, I'm already hooked with the first one, so I'm really excited to just finish that one. I have a feeling it's gonna be a 5-star and then get into this one right after. Another book in my April TBR is True Colors by Kristen Hanna. Now, if you know me, you know that Kristen Hanna is one of my favorite authors of all time. This is the last book I have in my physical TBR of hers to read. I read Four Winds last month and it was obviously a 5-star for me. I'm really excited. This is not a historical fiction. I have read her books that are not historical fictions and I love them just as much. But yeah, historical fictions to me, I feel like when she writes them, they're a little bit more captivating than her non-historical fictions, but still heartbreaking and still 5 stars. So I'm just excited. I'm excited about Kristen Hanna. I'm always gonna read Kristen Hanna. I do have to read her backlog after this, like Firefly. I don't know if Between Sisters is her backlog or one of her newer books. Here's my thing though, I feel like I can read books that I can't necessarily relate to, but when it comes to sisters, I only have brothers. So it's like I love reading about them and knowing, but I can't really relate to it because I don't have any sisters. But the way that she writes women, I am always so captivated by her, and just the characters really just has a beautiful way on connecting these characters to the story, just gripping you from like the first few chapters. So I'm just really excited to get my heart broken again by Kristen Hanna in April. Second to last book I am wanting to read is The Unworthy by Agustina Basterica. I did read her Tender as the Flesh last month and it was a 6-star for me. It was my first 6-star of 2026. Also read 19 Claws and a Black Bird, I believe. It was her short stories book. And I absolutely loved the way that she writes horror. I'm really excited about this one. This was not a short story. People say it's more like Tender as the Flesh type of story. Really, really freaking excited to read this. The premise of it is pretty freaking badass. I'm so excited. And they're such short reads that I feel like they're a really good book to kind of put in your TBR just in case because you have such big books like what I'm reading, like Alchemized, True Colors, and what I'm gonna talk about, Mistborn. And I've been in a horror kick, so super excited. And then last but not least, I do want to read Mistborn on my Kindle if I have time. One of my best friends, she is literally on my about reading Mistborn, and I think now is finally the time that I feel like I can read Mistborn. I know the world building is really heavy, and I think that's why I'm so intimidated by it. Really excited. I think I'm really curious to see how it goes, but I'm really intimidated by the world building and how this is going to turn out. I'm really intimidated, but I'm really excited. Me siento muy excited. So, and I feel like she's gonna be really happy that I finally like decided to read Mistborn. So yeah, this is my hefty April TBR. I want to know what you guys are reading because I change my TBR in the middle of the month. Like I'm always changing it up. If I'm such a mood reader, if I feel like none of these are doing it for me, I'll just grab another book and I'll keep going. Yeah, I would love to know what you guys are reading, and I will do a reading wrap up at the end of the month or beginning of next month to talk about all these books and my ratings and what I actually thought about them. I did post my March reading wrap up in shorts, so if you guys want to see that, head to the shorts and see that. I'm so excited to finally do long form video. I feel like I have a slate to just yap and not edit myself to just 1 minute or two, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.